Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Noobs to Pros. Sorry for the hiatus. I've been away for a while, and there's been many circumstances around it. I'm not gonna bore you with details. If you really want to know, I have a 36-minute video just ranting about things. That's the episode previous to that one. I'll link it somewhere in the video. And in this episode in particular, I want to talk about the IS8. IS8 is an incredibly misunderstood tank. What the IS8 is it's a fat medium. It's not a heavy tank. Even though it exists within a heavy line, it leads up to a heavy tank. The previous IS3 is a somewhat decent, heavy tank. IS8 is not a heavy tank. IS8 needs to be played more like a very big medium. If you have played maybe the Centurion 7-1 or perhaps the Tiger 1, those tanks are incredibly similar. You need to play this more conservatively, not as aggressively as you would in a heavy tank. And so this episode I'm just gonna be talking about this one game I had in particular. This was my Ace Mastery, or sorry, the Ace Tanker badge on this tank. I'm not gonna spoil how much damage I've done. You can keep a track of that somewhere in the damage counter I've had in this mod. So over here, what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna come up to this mid-ridge and try to fire down into town if my team gets pushed into town. I do realize that the other flank is not as secure. That is a consideration, but since I'm platooned up with two other people, if you're in a platoon, what you want to do is you want to support each other, unless you're driving completely opposite tanks. Maybe if you're driving a scout with a bunch of heavies, at that point you're not really in a position to support each other as much. So over here I'm expecting the city to push from the enemy teams, or the Reds as I would call them. So the Reds it seems like they have forgone the city altogether, and that will be evident to us sooner or later, because minus like their E100 and the Yakpanzer E100, most of their heavy tanks are committed to the mid and to the other flank. And so I think the Reds never thought they had a chance of actually pushing. Over here I destroyed this building just to give me a good access to fire support. I see the IS3 has overcommitted in the middle in order to take a shot. I'm gonna roll up, find a side shot on him and make him pay with a UC 500 plus damage, and I back off, because again you don't want to just stay there and invite returning fire to you. So now I see that the E100 and some of their tanks are sort of like spotted, but I know there's no useful shots I'll have on them, so I'm slowly and very steadily moving towards the other flank to sort of like provide them with some sort of fire support. I try to get a shot on this IS3 again, but he backs off just in time. I see this STI, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know whether he was a bot or not. He takes a pot shot at me, it sails harmlessly over my head in a couple minutes, but I make him pay for like just wandering through the middle. I don't know what he was doing. And so I put a couple shots into him. The E50 in front of me tracks him again. This was a slightly dodgy shot, but the IS8's gun handling is quite good. I've never known this gun to not go where I pointed it, even though the aim time is kind of long and horrendous, but this gun does play really well with a better gun handlings in the Russian tree. Over here I take a shot at the E75, but he backs up just in time. I never really had a shot on him. Now I'm just like watching what the enemy tank is trying to do here. Excuse me. So at this point I'm trying to figure out whether I'll have more shots or not. I see this IS3 rushing the E50. I am trying to put a couple of shots into him, hoping to dissuade him or make sure that he regrets his decision. I put one and the E50 nails him. So the IS8 nails me in the side, and I get used to a lot in health, and the E75 as well. So I'm starting to back off, because I know they have shots on me. Until you're sure that they don't have shots on you, you should keep on backing off. And now I'm trying to wait it out, figure out where they're going to be spotted, and then I'll have more shots. So at this point, like, there's no need to poke over the ridge. My view range isn't incredible. I'm not going to spot anything from where they're shooting, chances are. So I'm just going to go in the mid and see if I can support the rest of my team to the best of my abilities. I come over the ridge, and I'm hoping to get shots in the city. I see I have like the side shot of 100. I take one, and I'm not spotted for it. That's why I was backing off there. And my team finishes them off, and at this point, like, I'm trying to support people who are holding off the cap push, because there's nothing else. Once enemy forgoes most of the map control, what you want to do is you want to have multiple avenues of fire on the same tanks, because if they face their armor one way to block some shots, they cannot face their armor in two directions to block most of the shots. I repay the IS8 with the kindness of my own. I tried to take a speculative shot hoping to kill him off, but that doesn't really work. I guess he backed off completely, and I kind of misjudged where he was going. So I started making my way through the middle. Over here I stick to the right side of the ridge initially, because I'm guessing at this point that most of the enemy tanks are to my left instead of to my right, and so I'm just slowly, like, cautiously moving up, because you never know, one odd tank might still be camping in the back somewhere. That always happens. So I see the VK just going in front of me. I absolutely have no idea where that shot went, but I'm pretty sure I was spotted for it. So I back off, but incredibly I wasn't. I take another speculative shot. I don't know whether I hit the VK or not. At this point, I'm trying to figure out what the enemy is trying to do, try to reassess where they're gonna start locating again. I see the E50M. Now I know the two tanks are to my right and two tanks are to my left. And so what one of my platoon mates decides to do is he decides to go over the top to essentially take out the E50M, which is one of the most dangerous tanks left in the game. And I put another shot on the side of this E75. I try to aim for the ammo rack. I don't know whether I got the ammo rack or not, but that was the intention. The E75's ammo rack is just underneath where this turret is. If you hit it right there, chances are you're going to ammo rack it. Over here I take a shot at the VK-45. I didn't think it was going to go in, just because the reticle was so huge, but then again he was starting to back off and I would not have a shot anyways. At this point that was not such a good decision. I could have just backed off, and not given my position away to the enemy. That's one other thing you want to keep in mind. Do not take shots that you think have a very low chance of connecting, because essentially what you're going to do is you're going to give your position away, and the element of surprise is more important sometimes than people knowing where you are. So one of my platoon mates jumps in, but we were not in position to help him. He kind of like pays the price for it, but he took out the E50M, I think, before he died. And so I'm starting to try to wonder where the E75 is. I come over the top, spot the VK, and I shoot one into his backside, and I start backing off, thinking that I might be spotted. In hindsight, I wasn't spotted by the VK, but rather the E75 to my left. I totally forget about him, but and essentially tunnel vision on the VK, and he puts a shot into my left side. Now I'm trying to figure out where the E75 is going, whether he's going to come out and take another shot at me. I'm just trying to figure out. I see that he has fired on my friend over there, so I come out and take another shot on the VK and essentially finish him off. The E75 tries to get a little greedy, come over here and put one shot into me as well. I back off, decide not to give him a shot on my side. At this point, one of the other platoon mate Crazy puts a shot into him, and you know, I put one shot into him. He bounces, and that's all she wrote. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment if you did, and subscribe. And I hope to see you next time on another episode of Noob.